I've been in the danger zone.
Hello, you beautiful bastards, and welcome to episode 14 of the Danger Zone podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Kelly, and I'm joined by the returning Latino Himp, aka Himpy.
Hello.
I take it you've sorted all your condiment problems out this week?
My condiment problems are all sorted, yes.
Excellent stuff. Mr. Ryan Palmer.
Hello, yes, I'm here again.
I believe you have some raw shit for us.
Only the rawest.
Oh, here we go.
Raw shit, 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 raw shit. Ron Palmer's raw shit, this is Ron Palmer's raw shit, this is Ron Palmer's raw shit, this is Ron Palmer's raw shit, Ryan Palmer's raw shit.
This week's Raw was, of course, from London at the O2 Arena, and let's not begin with the Cena Ryback shite at the end, because we all know what the real main event was, and this was The Shield versus The Undertaker and Team Hell No. What did you think of the match, guys?
I thought it was a decent match. I don't think it ever really got above a decent level. It was good for a TV match. I think that it wasn't even match of the night, though, for me. I think Jericho and Ziggler was better. But it's always good to see Taker on free TV. His first Raw match for 3 years, did they say?
Yeah, I think that was right, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Brilliant to see the Shield go over again as well.
Yeah, very good. I enjoyed the match as well. I liked it a bit more than you, I think, you guys. I thought it was really good. And yeah, just another really good match from the Shield, which, I don't know, there's becoming a highlight of WWE at the moment, and I'm always looking forward to them. Do you think this will be the last of the Shield and the Undertaker interaction, at least for the time being, or do you see them going forward with them?
Definitely will be for the time being. I don't think Taker's going to stick around much longer. I think it was just like a farewell to England sort of jaunt. But I'm not ruling out them doing something together in the future. I think maybe possibly something at Mania down the line. Maybe if he wants to work SummerSlam.
Yeah,
I'd like to see some more stuff between them. I think there's a story to be told there, and it's a really, it's quite a easy story to tell with, the old force battling the three new, forces that are coming through.
Yeah. I was disappointed with the finish of the match, just because it seemed a bit, it wasn't very ballsy that they had Bryan be the one to lose. It was like, I don't know, I mean, even Kane, it would have been a bit more impressive if the Shield beat him, but it's like Bryan again. It's always the most expendable one, and it doesn't make the Shield look as good, because even though they did beat the team of, Team Hell No and Undertaker, they only got the win against Bryan, who, they'll give anyone a win over Bryan. I mean, so I think they should have just let them beat Taker. They should have pinned him. I mean, Taker, I'm sure, would be more than happy to do it, and it doesn't hurt his mystique, and it's just such a massive thing for the Shield. So I was quite disappointed with WWE for doing that. I mean, I had a little inkling they might go with, one of the Shield guys pinning Taker, but obviously that wasn't the case.
We talked about that last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
I did say at the time that if Taker was to lose, it wouldn't hurt his WrestleMania drawing power or anything whatsoever, obviously. But Bryan was the obvious choice to lose the match, I think. And I think I haven't really got any qualms with it because I was expecting it. But good to see Ambrose getting the win again. He seems to be the one that's sort of scoring the pinfalls these days for the Shield.
Yeah. I have to say, though, I'm slightly a little underwhelmed. I mean, I've enjoyed the match and whatever, but, when we were there for the night after WrestleMania for that Raw, and they had all this interaction, I mean, we were, losing our shit. We were jumping around because we were like, oh, my God, this is going to be amazing. And it's not surprising that WWE hasn't really met our expectations on this front. I don't know. Would you agree that they haven't really in this case, especially with this thing?
I think they would have done if they'd have let him go at Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Had, maybe 10, 15 minutes more. Taker would have probably put a little bit more into it because it was a pay-per-view audience and people were paying to see it, and it just had a bigger feeling if it was on pay-per-view. But then on the other hand, you've obviously got the fact that he was in England. So, and like I said, it was the farewell sort of jaunt of Undertaker in England. So I suppose they tried to fit it into that, which you can't really blame them for. But I was underwhelmed by the match, a little bit underwhelmed. I still enjoyed it, but not as much as I should have done.
Yeah. Of course, earlier on in the night we saw the Shield arrive by helicopter.
We did.
Which was weird. I mean, they did fly in from, or did they fly in or fly after to Cardiff or something like that?
They flew in from Cardiff because them and they were in the helicopter with Fandango and Summer Rae, and they just weren't in the shot, obviously.
Yeah.
But they worked the first match or the second match in Cardiff in order to give them time to fly over to London.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty silly that they just arrived. The Shield have helicopter access just to, in storyline. It seemed really stupid, but
the pilot was just an old man with a grey beard as well. It's like, it's not really linked to the Shield, but
yeah,
I suppose they worked around it the best way they could.
Yeah. Anyway, well, we'll see where this goes. Hopefully, it's not the end of Undertaker and the Shield. I suppose we'll see. But yeah, so moving on, we'll go to the ending segment of Raw, and that was when, nice surprise to see Mick Foley there, and he confronted Ryback, and they had a set two, strong words for each other, Mick Foley and Ryback. What did you think of this?
No, I know my opinion is going to differ from yours on this, but I enjoyed the segment.
Yeah.
I think Foley's one of the most underrated mic men of all time. I think he's like the go-to hand these days. Like where Piper used to come in and do a Piper's Pit, they now sort of bring Foley in to cut his same old back in our day promo. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's the man to sort of put over the new up-and-coming feuds and the main event feud if they need a hand, and he seems to be that guy now.
Yeah.
But I was very impressed with Ryback after sort of the last quarter of the promo was good. It was just ambling along, and it was a pretty average segment. But when he started doing the shut up business, I became intrigued by it. I didn't think he had these sort of promos in him, like I said last week, but I'm enjoying the more intense stuff from him. I marked out for the fat, pathetic, lazy bastard line. I thought that was quite good. But I didn't like the actual ending. No, I thought the Ryback promo was good, but the way the Shield came back and Cena cleared house, I didn't really like that.
No. Yeah, I kind of was alright with the segment. I didn't mind it. Thought it was okay. Firstly, I'd like to agree with your assessment of Foley. I think even just in general as a legend, he is like vastly underrated by WWE. Just because he didn't have the right look that they wanted and stuff like that. He was never, although for a little while he was considered quite a top guy. He's never been held in the esteem he probably should be. But like what you're saying with Ryback, I agree. I didn't think he had this sort of promo in him, but I mean that's kind of a backhanded compliment because I thought he could, I kind of think he can barely speak as it is, and I didn't massively enjoy this. I suppose like when he started to get more animated in the promo, it was a bit better, but he just can't act or deliver promo in any kind of realistic way, I don't find. I know I've never been a fan of him, and I could be easily accused of bias against that, but because he is complete shit. But I didn't really like this. His delivery is the main problem with this. He doesn't have like a subtlety to how he delivers, speaks. He just like has the same tone for everything. He'll just amplify the volume a little bit, and I just don't enjoy him. It's just, but I mean, he's better than I thought he was. But I mean,
I would agree with that. He's he's surprising me as a heel. I'm enjoying him more as a heel than I did as a face. Put it that way.
Still think
well, enjoying is quite a loosely used term there.
I think he's got his persona and presence is improved as a heel.
Yeah,
it suits him.
Good insider language. Persona and presence. Yeah, I agree with that. You are spot on, I think.
But I still think he is shit, and I want him to get fired.
That's right.
So that's putting it mildly, to be honest. Now, Himpy, have you got anything to add about Ryback and that?
Well, he wants to be the future John Cena, apparently, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, that's one thing.
He's got a long way to go.
Yeah.
I'm not even a John Cena fan, so
yeah,
that says all for me.
One thing I wanted to say, he is obviously, or WWE, probably between the two, they are so desperate for like the Cena haters to love Ryback. You notice there's like with the things he's saying, like he referred to Cena as Super Cena, and like his comments on Twitter and things, and it's kind of pathetic, really. You just, what a wanker.
It definitely didn't work this week. They hated both of them. So.
Well, I mean, Ryback, it was just silence.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing, really. Like, you got Daniel Bryan, who the company just tries to hold back, it seems, completely, and he still like gets some of the biggest reactions. You got Ryback; they put everything into this, short of like making everyone come out and say, "Oh, he's the future." I mean, they had Mick Foley say he could be one of the biggest superstars ever, and things like that. And they just want him so badly for people to love him or hate him and just react to him, and he gets nothing. I mean, I'm sorry, if they do that for you and you can't be like one of the most over guys in the company, then get them the fuck out of here, because he is obviously not got it. I mean, I'm sorry, but that is terrible. He has this kind of push.
Sorry, just coming in there. On the other hand, though, he's had a monstrous push, but he lost 6 matches running. So why would people get behind him after losing 6 matches running? He obviously can't win the big one.
Bryan never wins.
You what?
Bryan never wins, and Ziggler never wins, and things like that. But I mean, that's only on like pay-per-view, and like a lot of that was to do with the Shield matches and things like that. I mean, it was weird with the Mark Henry thing, but I think people would easily, like, if someone had, like, when it got like come out online that Ryback hasn't won all these matches kind of thing, that's when you only start to think about it. I mean, in like the general viewer's mind, they see Ryback as someone who's like destroying everyone. Because I mean, outside of pay-per-view, which is, 4/5 of how we're seeing Ryback, he's destroying everyone and he's not losing. So I don't think it's a big deal.
I'm not sure. I do get your point, but I think maybe looking back, if they'd have maybe put the title on him at Hell in a Cell, which was when the main sort of the push started and the real momentum got behind him. That was the week when, around all the business with Vince and that. I think it was around then with Vince and Punk, and he got involved in that, didn't he? But I think if they'd have sort of gone for it and put the title on him then he probably would have maybe gotten over to somewhere near the level where they wanted to. But I'm glad they didn't. I don't rate Ryback, and I don't particularly want to see him, but I'm just giving him sort of credit for what he's doing at the minute, because I think he's doing all right.
Yeah, well, with the heel turn and things like that, that really should have negated everything with the like losses of matches and things, because it's like a new character, well, not a new character, but a new attitude and things like that. But it's done the opposite, really. Now he's just, he's going against Cena. You'd think people, especially like a London crowd, they'd be right behind him, even, and stuff like that, even though he is a heel. But I mean, it's nothing. I can't remember anything ever hearing so little reaction for someone, especially in like a main position like they're putting him at the moment. I can't think of anything like that. It was quite surreal, really, just the silence he came out to when his music hit and everything like that. The one thing he had going for him was Feed Me More, and now that's kind of not using that anymore. And that's gone. I don't know. Cards are on the table, I think. Right, so going forward with Ryback, I suppose WWE might be worried about him and his reaction. Do you think they're going to do anything, like change anything post Extreme Rules, like with his push or anything like that?
Well, read some reports today that Vince wasn't happy with his lukewarm reaction, which, as we've said, he's been getting for quite a while now, not just 1 week. But I think they're stubborn enough to keep going with him for a little while. I don't really see where he moves on to after Cena, though, because is there really another face that's capable of having a feud with Ryback at the minute? Who's he going to feud with? Del Rio? There's nothing really appealing there, is there?
No. Yeah, it's like, I mean, they've done everything they can for him. I don't see, short of putting him over Cena, there's not much more they can do for him. I suppose I don't know, but yeah, I don't think he should be rewarded with these big pushes. And they like pushing him so much just in like merchandise senses. When we were in at WrestleMania, there was like Ryback stuff everywhere. And people like Bryan and Ziggler, there weren't really merch for him, and I think that's wrong. It's like he's been put in this position, and it's not, can't be doing much for him. So I think they definitely should rein it back in. Definitely give him a minor spot, and then just build him again, maybe from there. I mean, I'd like to see him just fire him tomorrow, but I mean, I think from their point of view, they've tried to like hot shot his push. It's not worked. No one can tell me it's worked. The facts are there. The only thing he had going for him, like I said a little bit ago, was the feed me more thing. And as a heel, he can't really use that. So they've got to try something else because this isn't working. But
he's got a nice beanie hat though.
Oh, it's fucking terrible.
Oh, he doesn't even like the beanie hat.
Yeah, stretched over his fat, roidy head. That'll sell it well. Bloody hell.
That's like since when he was a face, it was just bald Ryback, and now the only difference that he's a heel, he's got a hat on.
Yeah, it was like Big Show. He came out with a hoodie, and it looked. That's the funniest thing ever. Seeing a giant man like sulkily having his arms, like hands tucked into his hoodie pockets with his hood up. It was ridiculous. But all right, let's move on from that. Spent a good portion of time on that. Opening Raw, we had Paul Heyman in the ring, and they had this, I don't know, thing with a Triple H, and then Triple H came out, accepted the challenge, and for like against Lesnar and Extreme Rules. Then he pedigreed Heyman. Any thoughts on this segment?
I thought it was pretty standard stuff. It wasn't, it was solid Heyman material before.
Yeah.
Which came out, and he did well once he came out to sort of sell the fear and whatnot. But I was a little disappointed at how little Triple H offered in the segment, to be honest. They advertised him as appearing on Raw and accepting Lesnar's challenge, but he said like 2 sentences and then pissed off.
Getting sick of Triple H, to be honest. I mean, it's always the same thing. It's, oh, look how intelligent I am. I outsmarted you, and then I'm going to beat you up. And it's kind of like, it's so off-putting. I don't know. It's just so arrogant. I don't like it.
You're not happy tonight, are you?
No, it's just
everyone.
Things rub me the wrong way. I don't like it. But yeah. Anyway, this probably ain't going to please you then. What we talk about next? Dolph Ziggler beat Chris.
Dolph Diggler.
All right. Thank you. Dirk Diggler is what the name was. Fuck that. Anyway, I'm talking about Boogie Nights. Anyway, I'm going on about films. Never mind. So Dolph Ziggler, Dan, beat Chris Jericho when Fandango's music played to distract Jericho. Were you both as disappointed in this match as I was?
No, I've said
no.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was a decent match. Jericho. I enjoyed it better than the Shield match. I thought it deserved more than what the crowd gave it. The crowd didn't really give a shit, did they?
Yeah, I thought it was poor by their standards, to be honest. I mean, it wasn't a bad match. I just thought it was poor by their standards. It was easily the worst match they've had against each other. And just especially, nothing really happened. I mean, it was just... And the ending weren't exactly thrilling, and I don't know, I was really disappointed. But maybe that was just me then.
What do you reckon, Himpy?
I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
There you go.
They obviously both...
Brian this evening.
he's just in a bad mood.
I love the Shield stuff, the match, actually, the actual match. I thoroughly praised that when you guys didn't really go mad for it.
One thing with the Jericho match I'd like to point out is that it was quite refreshing to see someone's music hit and the person not just freeze like it was a curse put on him. He still sort of held the hold, do you know what I mean? He sold the the way that he got distracted, but he did it intelligently, like as if how it would happen in real life, not like someone's music hits.
Yeah, they do sell it like that person is. They're expecting that person to then come out with a gun or something. I mean, it's like I'm in a match and then the music hits and they've got to like check they aren't armed or something. But I don't know. I always hate that. And it's still stupid though. I mean, realistically, like say at MMA, you're gonna have two people fighting and then someone's music hits. They're not gonna like stop and have a look. It's just I hate that kind of. It's so lazy. I wish they'd stop it. But yeah. So all right then. But so later on, Fandango was back. He didn't actually come out after that match, did it? It was just his music.
Yeah.
So later, Fandango beat William Regal in a very short match, and Fandango didn't have his normal dancer with her. He had Summer Rae from NXT with him, which she's been apparently working on house shows and stuff. She's not too bad. I've seen her on NXT. She's feuding with Paige at the moment, and she seems all right. She well, I mean, it's nothing to get excited about, but she seems a lot better than the current divas they've got on the roster. But you know, not quite as good as Paige. So yeah, they're obviously keep going on with Jericho versus Fandango. Then we'll see where that goes, because I thought Jericho was pretty much done for a little while, but we'll see. Speaking of Fandango, after everything that's happened over WrestleMania to now, what are your current thoughts on him?
I think it will die out pretty quickly. I think we had one crowd in New Jersey, which was mental, obviously, and then the next week they tried to shove it down the crowd's throat with like King was in the ring giving them the old, come on, let's dance. And It didn't work. And this week, because they're in London and it's generally a smarkier crowd, the theme sort of took off again. But what will it be like next week? Will it will it carry on, or will it just be the smarter fans that are doing it every week? I don't know. I don't think it'll last like the Yeses have lasted.
No.
I should think Johnny Curtis can't believe his luck with how it's turned out, though.
Yeah, definitely.
He got given a dancing gimmick and has turned into this. I mean,
yeah.
Are they cheering Johnny Curtis, or are they cheering his theme song?
Well, yeah,
it's his theme,
to him, so.
Yeah. It's not anything to do with him. They could have put this on any guy, I think, and they'd like the theme. It was just like some random thing that happened, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a spur of the moment thing, and I don't think that's going to be able to be recreated, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think the character is certainly, it's a little better, I guess, and you got to credit Johnny Curtis. He's put everything into it, and he obviously looks like he's done some dancing training and everything like that. I'm not keen on how he speaks. It's just, I wish he'd just speak normally. I don't know why he's got to mince it up so much. But I mean, I'm fine with like the way he carries himself and stuff like that. It's just, he has to really, it's like this Fandango, which is just a bit.
As if you've got headphones on, listen to this. Ryan breathing in your ear.
I like it.
I see what you're saying. I think Johnny Curtis has done well, and I think he's surprised everyone. Like Himpy said, he's done terrifically well to get a dancing gimmick over. When he debuted, everyone was like, "Oh, get this dick off the telly." But now it's just people are looking forward to seeing him. I think he's got some future in the ring, whether it'll be in the Fandango gimmick or not. But I would, after Extreme Rules, whatever he does, I would try and sort of cash in on the popularity a little bit and maybe turn him face. Thoughts on that?
I'm not sure.
Alright.
Well, I don't know. This character as a face, I'm not sure how it'd work, really. It's like meant to push people's buttons, I think, with, kind of in he's effeminate, he dances kind of way. So, I don't know. But, like someone like Damien Sandow, I think they should have as a babyface now, because he's treading water. And I suppose I'd have thought a similar thing with that when he debuted, because he's like trying to be, he's like intentionally smarter than everyone else. It's presented that way, so I don't know, maybe. But I don't think it'd be right at the moment. I don't see him, how he can be too likable other than his theme. Okay then, well that'll do it for Raw Shit this week.
Ryan Palmer's Raw Shit, this is Ryan Palmer's Raw Shit, this is Ryan Palmer's Raw Shit, this is Ryan Palmer's Raw Shit, Ryan Palmer's Raw Shit.
This week's Twitter debate centred around who you'd like TNA to bring in and base the X Division around. We asked for your correspondence on Twitter using the hashtag DZ14, and I can honestly say that we've had some really good answers this week. I'll read you a few of our favourite ones, and then we'll have a chat about who we'd bring in. First one I'll read out is by @SheriffLoneStar, who said @Fergal Devitt would be a good acquisition, but he's happy where he is, I would think. And he's talking about Prince Devitt there from New Japan, which I think we'd all agree is a good answer.
Definitely. He wouldn't be seen dead in TNA though. But that's a good choice if you could pick anyone.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it would be a step down for him from New Japan because they're the second biggest wrestling company in the world. So.
Yeah, but then it would give him a shot at getting in WWE, which
I think he's already had offers, to be honest. I think he recently did. Well, not recently, but a few years ago, he had. I'm pretty sure that he had at least one offer before, but I don't know if he really wants that because you have to go into developmental and I don't know. I think he's happy. He's anyway. We're talking about New Japan. He's probably going to be moved into the heavyweight class soon, maybe possibly. But they're doing big things with him, and he's like one of the most popular guys they've got in New Japan. So I don't see him going there anywhere, even WWE.
Right. At Steve F98, he said Trent Beretta is perfect for Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, I think he'd. I wouldn't so much say build the X Division around him, but I think he'd be a very good acquisition for the X Division. Definitely, yeah.
And the final one I'm going to read you is from @Monty605, who's old Monty Burns from the first week we did this. Good on Monty. He says, easy, @Marty Skull. So we'd like to see Marty Skull brought in. And just a little point on that, Marty Skull actually tweeted us and sort of he reaffirmed our opinion that he'd be good in the X Division. So there you have it.
Yeah, good stuff. So what did you guys feel then?
I would go for Roderick Strong, who's currently working in Ring of Honor, I'm sure you know. But I know Ring of Honor have their talent under a contract, and I'm not sure when this contract will be up. But I think this counts as pretty feasible, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, he's worked in TNA before, not on a massive basis, but I recently watched an old match he had with Hiroshi Tanahashi in TNA. It wasn't very long, it was like 6 minutes, I think. But I think he certainly someone would fit seamlessly in the X Division. One of his biggest strengths is certainly working with high flyers, because he is really, you wouldn't think to look at him, but he's very strong. His name, I guess.
Strong.
He is. Excalibur of the PWG commentator says calls it Freaky Roderick strength. But he is very strong. He lobs people around. It's quite a sight. His finisher is, look that out. He has them in a suplex position and he throws them up in the air and then gives them a backbreaker. It is insane to see. He recently did it to he did one to Rich Swann, I think, and a few on PWG last year, and it was crazy. But that's a very good finisher. But yeah, I definitely think that'd be a great decision. I think it's a good choice, Dan.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Right, I've gone for someone who I'd completely forgotten about, and then I just remembered him at the last minute just before we started. He's certainly got the athleticism and the ability that the new X Division will require, and a bit of name value as well. I think John Morrison would be a decent fit for the new X Division.
A couple of people suggest John Morrison, so
yeah, I think
he'll be joined the Minions.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I think he'd add a lot. Don't really hear about him much in the middle. I wonder if he will come back to WWE or eventually, but we'll see. He'd do well there, I think. Yeah, I'm sure someone that TNA definitely would want. I mean, I'm sure they've approached him at least once. So, but yeah, he'd fit in well. My choice would be the Dragon Gate and Dragon Gate USA star Ricochet, who, if you haven't seen him, you really should. He is a high flyer, and basically the X division is kind of built for him. I mean, they should snap him up before WWE do, to be honest, because he is, especially in the last couple of years, well, even the last year, he has really developed into an all-round performer.
Right, it's now time for the return of Himpy Does Some News.
Himpy does some news. Himpy does some news. Himpy does some news. It's time to hear from Himpy.
Right, we kick things off with some big news for WWE's future. They have unveiled plans for a brand new training facility called the WWE Performance Center. The 26,000 square foot building in Orlando will feature 7 wrestling rings, along with its own strength and conditioning and physical therapy areas. The facility will be used to train up-and-coming talent and will also be used as a place for injured and rehabbing superstars to go to prepare for their return. The facility is the pet project of Triple H, and what an impressive project it appears to be.
Yeah, it's alright, isn't it?
It's alright, isn't it? Can't wait to remember that.
Next, WWE have announced a new reality show focused entirely on the lives of WWE divas. The show, called Total Divas, will air on the E! Network in the United States from July the 28th this year. I'm sure we all can't wait for that one.
I have heard that Daniel Bryan's going to be making a few appearances with his missus, Nikki Bella. So
That's Brie now. It's Brie Bella.
Oh, sorry. Brie Bella.
Nikki's the one with the implants and the one who's sucking off Cena.
Alright, there we have it. Next.
Thanks for clearing that up. WWE will be returning to the UK and Europe in November and will hold their Raw and SmackDown TV tapings in Manchester. Tickets for all the shows go on sale this Friday. I imagine we may be attending this one.
I think we shall be. It's a little bit more feasible because obviously London fell straight after New York, so funds are a little bit tight in for everyone really. So we could be heading to Manchester.
Yeah. I know we've got a few TNA followers. TNA return to the UK at the end of January, and they will hold shows in Glasgow, Manchester, Birmingham and London. And tickets for those shows go on sale next Friday. I'm not sure we'll be attending that one, but we may do.
We might do London. We used to do London quite often, didn't we? But we stopped last year. As obviously in the lead up to Mania, because you have a lead up to Mania, which is TNA, and then straight after Mania you have WWE in England. So all the funds are sort of centred around heading to America. But we'll see.
Yeah, and just one amusing little thing to end on. Hulk Hogan, over WrestleMania weekend, he held a Q&A event called Hulk Hogan Uncensored, and it drew less than 1,000 fans in a 3,000-seat theatre. And that means that Chikara outsold Hulk Hogan on WrestleMania weekend. Ouch.
Chikara had 1,000 fans?
Yeah, apparently. Apparently they had over 1,000, so they sold more than Hulk Hogan, basically.
Oh, that's good. Bloody Hogan.
Excellent.
There we go.
Well, that's definitely cheered me up.
I thought it was. And that is the end of this week's news.
Hit that jingle.
Himpy's done the news. Himpy's done the news. Himpy's done the news. It's time to say bye-bye to Himpy.
Right, that'll do us this week on the Danger Zone podcast. Make sure you do all the usual things. Subscribe to us on iTunes, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, etc. Keep an eye out on the Twitter page for next week's hashtag debate topic. And look out for some live tweeting of this week's wrestling events. Until next time, you've been in the Danger Zone. Goodbye!
I've been in the Danger Zone.
Tell us when, right?
Oh, whenever you're ready.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Why aren't you moving a mouse?
That wasn't me.
Oh, sorry, it's me, probably.
Stop moving your mouse.
I ain't got a mouse.
Why is your mouse?